Hey everybody, just give me a minute or two here to get everything set up and we're gonna get right cracking because, yeah. Just give me a second here so I can pull up my iPad and we're gonna get right to it. As soon as I can pull the live up on my iPad. Actually, we're gonna give it a couple minutes. It looks like it's still a couple minutes to 8, so I'm gonna give it a minute or two here. I have already kind of chosen mostly what I'm gonna do. I'm planning on doing 2 weeks, maybe possibly a third, but we'll see. But as you can see, I kind of already have some stuff laid out here. I know what I want to do. I kind of want to have a quicker live tonight. I'm just not really feeling that great. But I know I wasn't live last week, and I'll talk about that a little bit, but, excuse me. But I don't want to go 2 weeks without going live, so, I'm on here. Probably not going to be the most engaging tonight, I'll be honest. I'm tired and kind of just having a day, a very, like, out of it emotional day, so, we're gonna being here is better than being perfect and stressing about it until it's perfect. So, that's the motto I'm gonna live by today and just go with that. And, yeah. So, I have one of our newer, palm tree stencils down here. And then I also have our large anti-stencils down in my journal. And I was thinking about doing like a multicolor one, but I haven't decided. I'm trying to decide if I want to do like these 3 colors or I don't really know. Like I said, I'm having a weird day and just kind of not feeling anything. So my idea was to do these 3 colors. I don't really know why these 3 colors are, I don't know, maybe kind of like a neon-y vibe. I think we will do them because why not? So I'm just going to do these 3 colors, kind of make it like, I don't want to say neon-y, like Miami Barbie kind of vibe. I don't know what you would call it. But we're just going to go with these 3 colors. And all I'm doing is just kind of varying where I put that. So, I hope you guys have had a great week. I'm sorry I missed you all last week. My sister-in-law's mother actually passed away. So, I spent a lot of the week helping her get stuff together, helping her with their kids. So my brother, and it was also like my brother's last week of his school, and he works at a high school, and does a few things. So like he was running around. So my mom and my aunt and I spent a lot of the week kind of helping with the kids as they were, you know, doing stuff for the funeral and doing stuff for their jobs and all that kind of stuff. So, I was actually here on Tuesday. I had every intention of going live, and then they brought the kids over and asked us to watch them for a little bit, and it's just one of those things, like family calls. I didn't feel right kind of leaving them with my mom for a couple hours, so it was a long week last week, and I wish I could say it's like less long now, but it's kind of a weird week this week too, so yeah, but that's why I wasn't live last week, is because of that. So my apologies if you were waiting on it. I wanted to have my planner ready to go, but they come first. So here we are today with at least 1 week to catch up on. So yeah, how's everybody else doing? Like I said, I'm having a day. Like, do we just have one of those days where I just cannot control my emotions today. Like, I'm both picking a fight on everything and, like, crying at the drop of a hat. So, some of fun one to be around. Like I said, if I hadn't had to cancel last week's live, I probably would have canceled the live tonight because I'm just kind of in a funk. I will say I just finished, or I literally have 5 minutes left of, well, it's an arc, but I got it, like, the other day, even though it came out in May. The Romance Rivalry by Susan. I want to say Lee, but I don't want to say, I don't know. I think it's Susan Lee, but I can, if anybody's interested, let me know. I can always link the book. It's a YA book, but it's really cute, and I've really enjoyed it. And it's all about these two college-age kids. So, like, it is YA, but I don't know. Maybe say, like, new adult instead of YA. It's very low on the spice. Like, I'm trying to even remember, like it's very, very low on the spice. So, I think there is a little referencing and, like, very, very light, like, interactions, but I think, like, spice-wise, for most of romance books nowadays, it's definitely on the low end. So, like, I would say it's probably more like YA, new adult type. But it was really cute, and I follow this author on social media and had seen, like, the pre-order campaign, and it was really cute, and had forgotten to pre-order it, and then, like, the last day of it came up, and so I ordered it because I was on a kick of ordering, like, I really want a lot of my favorite books signed. So then I ordered it and whatever. Anyway, but after I pre-ordered it, I saw that this author's publisher has been doing, like, no promotion for them. Like, almost, like, oddly no promotion. Like, they, like, want them to fail almost. And so I definitely am, like, wanting them to do really well. And so when I think I had asked for, or I didn't see the audio until after the book came out, so I hadn't asked for it, but I went through a spree of requesting stuff on NetGalley, and unfortunately got a bunch of them, but they, like, just keep coming in, so now I'm like, oh no. But I did get it after it was already released, but, so I just finished, or I have, like, 5 minutes left on the audiobook, and I'm really excited to finish it. So, other than my poor mood, that's the other thing that's, like, has me, like, preparing everything and being like, okay, this is gonna be a quick live, because I really want to get to the end of that. And like I said, I do have a ton of other arcs. Like, I don't know how I got so many. I got a lot of arcs that I need to get. Thankfully there's only one that's, like, coming up soon, and that's the Poppy Fields, which I read, Nikki, I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce it right, but I think it's Ehrlich or something like that. She wrote a book called The Measure, and I loved it. It was so good. And it was a great book for book club. We did a whole discussion on it, and the premise of that is that you get a box with a string that's, like, basically the amount of life you have left, and there's this whole, like, you know, do people want to open their boxes, do they not want to, and it's just, like, some random day they, like, all these people get it, and it's definitely, like, a really good conversation on, like, fate versus, like, what you do. And we talked a lot about, like, would you open it? Would you, you know, put a lot of stock in it? Because I'm trying to think. There was another, we read a book that was like, not the same concept because it wasn't like the amount of time you have left, but it was like, it's a Leanne Moriarty. I can't remember her name. Leanne something. But like the woman, it's like a woman on a plane as a psychic and tells people how they're gonna die. And so, I don't remember how they were gonna die or like when they were gonna die. But I don't think it was done as well as The Measure was done. So when I got her arc for her next book, The Poppy Fields, I was really excited. And that book is coming out, I think, next Tuesday. And I'm so excited for it. I think it's going to be really, really good. But I think it's essentially about, like, it's an institute. So it's not like a magical place or anything. It's an institute in the desert. It's called the Poppy Fields. And essentially, like, they put you to sleep for, I'm just getting to this part of the book, so I think it's like, I don't know if there's like a set time or it's like your body kind of chooses type vibe. I'm gonna do that like double shadowing on this just to give it a little more color, and a little more of that like funky vibe. I don't know if I'm gonna do all of them, but we're just gonna do some of them to start with and then decide if I want to do all of them. So anyway, so I'm just getting to these where like people are gonna go to the poppy fields and like they put you in like a medically induced sleep basically, and it allows you to like process your grief of whatever you're grieving. And there's like only certain people are admitted and this and that. So it's like I said, I'm very early on in the arc, so I don't have like the full scope of it, and I obviously wouldn't want to spoil it even if I did. But I think it's going to come up with, like, some really good discussions of, like, you know, would you want to forget somebody if it allows you to, like, not grieve as much? You know what I mean? So I'm excited for that one. And then what other arcs do I have? I have another one that has already come out, All Superheroes Need PR. And that one is actually one I got like right before it released in May. And I just honestly forgot about it. Or I didn't forget about it. I just didn't. I'm a mood reader. So that's why like asking for arcs is hard unless it's a book I really know I want. And I knew I wanted it. It's just that mood slipped. So I'm trying to make myself go back because now I have like a ton of e-arcs and like 4 audio arcs that I need to get through. And so I'm trying to like make myself go back and do these. But yeah, so all I'm doing now is just a little technique I like to do on some of my stencils to give them a little more depth, especially like if I feel like it just looks flat because of the colors I chose. Or maybe that I think the area wasn't big enough to kind of like... So you can kind of do it 2 ways. You could go through and trace everyone, or you could kind of pick out some to kind of highlight. As of right now, I'm just doing the highlighting a few of them. I haven't 100% decided. I figured I would just kind of talk for a little bit and then make my decision on what I wanted to do. But yeah, so those are the... Romance Rivalry is the first one I was talking about. It's about 2 book reviewers that are rivals and end up at the same college. And I won't give away any more spoilers for it, but it's really, really cute, and I really recommend it. If for nothing more than, like, she put in some super hard work to get herself out there, and I want her to super succeed because, like, her publisher didn't do a lot of backing on her, and she is Asian American, and so obviously, like, there's some, you know, like, there were some other things, and I don't really know the whole scope of it, so I'm not gonna, like, gossip about it, but there was something with, like, a book festival where, like, she lived right down the street and was like, hey, let me show up and I can sign, like, you don't have to pay me or anything, like, I just want to show up and sign my book and like get my book out there. And they like basically were like, no. Which I think kind of stinks. Like, especially for like a book festival. If I'm going to a book festival, I want to see all the authors and do all the signings. Like, please show up at my book festivals. You know what I mean? So anyway, I think we're going to stop there with that one. And as you can see, it gets kind of like a nice bright vibe to it. So the next thing we're do for this layout is just go through and put the lines. So I usually count 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, so 14 across or down, I guess. And then I believe it's 10 on each one through here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so 10 this way. And as you can see, like a nice pattern stencil like this is really a quick and easy way, especially if you couple it with our large anti-stencils. It's a really quick, easy way to make a fun layout in your bullet journal if you're just like, I just don't have the energy. Like, I don't have the energy today. It's a pretty simple fix, in my opinion. So let me also grab some letters. And we will use letters here. I think we'll actually use the Lilo and Stitch one because that's fun. And if I'm doing this with letters, I like to just kind of like doodly color them in, but keep the stencil down so that it makes it easier. So yeah, so I have a lot of books I've been reading. I'm still somehow on the pace of a book a year. When I finish this, I'll actually be 1 book ahead. So I try to keep a book or 2 ahead because I find myself on the weekends not really reading or finishing as much, at least. Especially until like we get our pool up and I spend the whole entire weekend just floating in the pool reading. Once that happens, I feel like I'll be able to get more done. But like I said, the last week was really hard. So we spent a lot of it like with my brother and sister-in-law, and obviously at the funeral, and helping them out with their kids as they were with her family taking care of stuff. So that's, like I said, why I wasn't here on last Tuesday. But today it's been a weird day. Like, I don't know, the weather has been a little cooler, which don't get me wrong, I love that. But it's been kind of like overcast, and I don't know, I'm just like in a mood today. I don't know why. So this is definitely helping, though. I'll be honest, I wasn't looking forward to coming on here. Especially when I was like, I realized I only had 5 more minutes left on my audiobook, and I was like, I just want to finish. But I don't know about you guys. I always find when I'm emotionally overwhelmed that I like planning or some form of creating always helps me. So I'm really glad as much as I'm like being a little bit of a brat about it, I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad I'm doing something creative, because that's always helpful, I think. In my opinion, at least. I just kind of like feel the stress leaving my body a little bit. I've got a lot to do to like catch up on my junk journal. So last week I actually Friday or Thursday, other than obviously the funeral, I also had like 2 events going on that week, so it was a lot. Thursday night I had junk journaling at a local bookstore, which like it's not a super long one. I wish it were longer. But it is a lot of fun and I really enjoy it. They just put out tables and they kind of like, they have their bookshelves they're like inner bookshelves, not like the ones that are like on the wall. Their inner bookshelves are on rollers, so they can kind of push them around and push them out of the way, which is super cool and super nice, because when they do this junk journaling class, they just kind of like push them all towards like a different area of their store, because it's not a huge store at all. So they just push them all towards like a different part of the store, and then put out like some card tables or folding tables and chairs, obviously. And they kind of like put out some junk. They put scissors and glue sticks and stuff on every table. And they do have like journals and sticker books in the store you can buy, but like you can bring your own. And they put out like old things that are like you can use for junk and all that kind of stuff. So I really quite enjoy it. I really like going there. And I really hope they keep doing it, because it's a lot of fun. And I think it's inspired Kelly and I to start another junk journal a junk journaling class at our local scrapbook store. Or not class, but like a day of, hey, come junk journal with us, and or just bring your planner, but pretend you're junk journaling. I've really been enjoying doing that this year. So I want to get caught back up. I finished okay, and because this week is already partially over, I did kind of make those numbers a little bigger, just knowing that, like I said, it's already partially over, and oh well. I did get these awesome zebra dot pens. They're mild liners. I thought I had a pink one. Maybe that's wrong. So we'll just go with green and orange. They're mild liners that are dots, and then you can use them like as checklists. So I'm trying to think what I did on Monday. What did I do yesterday? I worked. I'm like second guessing. Okay, good. 7:30 to 4, and then I really didn't do a ton yesterday, so I'm just gonna put a couple dots here, and then I'm gonna put some more. I am just gonna put some dots down. I do quite like these dots. There was another company that made dot markers like this. I can't remember the name of it, but I like that these will match my mild liner colors. Sunday is scrappy. And I will put like a notebook club. And I'm just going to fill in a couple things for this week. It's only Tuesday and I already feel like it's been such a long week. Oh. This is Scrappy. 12 to 6. My book club. Let's put down here Facebook Live. I don't think I have any birthdays because I think my brothers and sisters is Monday. So what did I do here? Yes. Does anybody else like to put things on their checklist that they've already done just so you could check them off? I'm so guilty of that. Okay, so it worked. Got gas. I know I need to Net Gaily review. Download FB Live. Alright, so I'm just going to leave that and I'll fill the rest in later. But that is one very quick layout. I know it's 9:30, but we were pretty much done with this by 9:15. So, again, cute, quick, colorful layout. And we'll move on in to the next day, or the next week, I mean. Okay, so I am going to use that same setup of my anti-stencils. I do pre-number my bullet journal. The first thing I do in it is I start at the very back and I kind of like know how many pages I want at the end for different things, which I should probably start setting up on here. Like year review, goal review, and then I'll start with like the last week of the year. So like this week this year it's 29th to the 31st. And then I'll go the 22nd through the 28th. And then I'll go the 15th through the 21, 8 to 14, 1 to 7, my December monthly page, 24th through 30 of November, and just like backdate it so that I know how many pages I will need for that. I know like in a traditional bullet journal, you just kind of keep going, and if you need a page, you put it in an index. My brain doesn't work that way. It needs all the planner stuff together. So like I'll just keep backdating it until I get to, obviously, like I never did this week. I need to go back and do it. January 1st and my January calendar. And then I know like I have the rest of this as my upcoming stuff. You know what I mean? Which I still have a lot in here I still have to do and I need to update. So one of these days it's going to be a long day of just doing that, which I really need to do. So whenever I start it, you'll see me erasing some dates, and that's what I was doing because I predate them. Or not really predate them. I set up my dates where I want them first. I'm going to make this a little higher. Okay, so for this one, I've kind of been going back and forth on how I want to do it. If I wanted to do like a background or But I think what I want to do is just go this way and then let the background be white, and then have some other things I'm going to add to it, like in a darker color later. So for this one, last month, the Simply Gilded box was like so perfectly me. It was palm trees and this really cool like picture washi, and that was just so me that I had to subscribe in May. And then her June box was a lot of very similar things. Like it was like a summer box, and I already got it, and it came with this kind of stuff. So this is kind of my inspiration because I'm going to be using some of these in there. So I'm going to kind of pull some of those. I pulled some of those colors out, and I want to kind of use these as the colors in my surfboards. But I do kind of want to see like what order I want to put them in, because I kind of want to go in like a rainbow-y-ish order. So we're going to do that way. And rather than like ombre them, I think what I'm going to do is just kind of make it like go like surfboard by surfboard maybe. I don't know. We're going to try it that way and see if I like that vibe, but we can switch it up if I don't. Because I did pull some like different colors in here. This will get a little messy, so I don't think I'm going to like fully do it. I think I might let it bleed a little bit in. Yeah, I think that looks cool. We'll do that way. One of the other things I think when you're working in your bullet journal, in your planner, in your junk journal, whatever, is I think it's important to allow yourself some creative space there. Like, and I don't just mean like, oh, I'm making something that's creative space. I mean, like, allow it to change. Allow it to evolve a little bit. And I think you'll find some surprising results sometimes. You'll find things that you didn't think would happen. And like I said, this kind of practice of being a little less, I don't know the right word to say, strict on how I plan, has definitely allowed me to get over that like fear of or need for perfection, I guess I would say. So if that's something you struggle with, that might be something to think of and maybe try to implement a little bit. Some of the like letting it go a little bit. This was not quite the color I thought it was gonna be, but there is some green in these stickers, so we're gonna play with it. Like I said, I think part of it, and for me, part of the practice is learning to let go a little bit of things. Are not always going to be perfect. They're not going to always come out exactly how you thought they would. And that's okay. This is a creative practice that is not always perfect. And it's an organizational tool. And for me right now, it's something that's like letting me be a little de-stressed. So, or a de-stressor. So we're gonna roll with it a little bit. Or we're gonna try to at least. do notice some of my ink pads are a little dry, which could also just be the weather right now. I am kind of estimating how much space, like I'll get 1.5 more. So like after blue, we're gonna go back to the pink. So that's 1, and then the red. So we'll start up here with the worn lipstick right there. See, then there's that one, yellow, green, blue, and we'll start up there with blue. You don't have to do it this way. You could totally decide to do it randomly. You could do it one color. But I think this is a different way to do it. So we're gonna stick with it. Why not? So after blue, we go back to pink, red, worn lipstick, saltwater taffy, squeeze lemon right up top there. Good, it needed a little bit of yellow in here. You can see some of that blue got in there. I am just doing my best to kind of tamper that down because I wanted like a good yellow. I am now using a Tombow sand eraser just to kind of hopefully make that blue, but really it looks like green, a little less intense. And then when I come back with another layer of yellow, it'll hopefully cover it up a little bit better. If not, oh well. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get. All right, so then there's green, peacock feather, mermaid lagoon, and then our pink down here, and we'll start here with our red. Okay, we have worn, taffy, yellow, green. Good. I like that this is giving a little bit of the variety. Oh, this was clearly not washing down very well, but we'll do our best to just kind of line it back up. Give it a better press, and I will hold it a little bit more this time. Now doing the layout this way will make it take a little bit more time, but oh well. Like I said, this is the practice of having fun with things. Red, pink, and we'll start with saltwater taffy in here. I really like this color. And then we got yellow, green, feathers, mermaid lagoon. Okay. So now we've got pink, red, this is gonna be your second half guy. I am gonna take this down, and you can kind of see, like, I think this is gonna be one that's gonna do better with a little bit of an outline, and we'll go back and do that later. I am gonna take a quick little wipe of this because I am kind of going in color order, so I want to keep it like the same colors and not get a lot of overrun. So I will give this a quick wipe off. Doesn't have to be super clean, but just enough that there's not a ton of colors bleeding on each other, or not bleeding, because these colors won't bleed, but transferring over is the best word for that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is kind of do my best to line this up as best as I can. I will take this. Okay. All right, so then we're going to take our saltwater taffy. Hopefully I'm not too much of a line here. And the nice thing about this is you can kind of build the color. If you don't think it's dark enough, keep adding a little bit more. If you don't think that entire color is dark enough, you can grab a different color. Okay, so then after saltwater taffy, we've got our yellow squeeze lemonade. And I am kind of trying to keep these as best as I can, the brushes in line as well. Okay. And then we've got the blue is the last there. So I can flip it all the way back over to the start. And grab our Kitsch Flamingo here. A couple weeks ago I went book shopping with a friend, and the bookseller had recommended her a couple of really good books that she liked, so she was like getting another rec from her, and the rec she gave her had a surfer in it. So of course I had to buy the book because I really want to do this on the edges of them. I just have to decide like what colors. I want to read the book and see if there's anything else that I can bring in too. Instead of just the surfboards. Like I think a cool pattern inside these surfboards would be awesome too. Okay, so we went there. That one. What's before yellow? That's how we can do that. That'll be your next color. Wait, no. What's before blue? So that one. This is a little confusing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna do my best to keep them in order though. So yeah, so they recommended a book, and it's a romance because that's typically what I've been reading recently. What's before yellow? Is that one, so that's gonna be that. So this will be that. I did a very confusing order. I should have stuck with like 3 colors. It would have made this a lot easier. But I think once I pull the stickers in, this variety of color is gonna definitely give it a little extra something. We'll see though. It definitely makes this layout a lot longer though, because it's a lot of making sure I have the right color. Okay. The next one's green. Start over at the top here. Okay. So what's before our teal? Is evergreen. I'm glad that we don't have a ton of this because I don't really love how Oh, that's evergreen, so it's gonna be yellow first. So after taffy, before taffy is this one, lipstick. Taffy. Then we have yellow, green, feather. We're gonna go peacock feather here. And finally, blue. It's funny that that rotation was like perfect. And on the last color, so we can start the next page on the next color. Alright. So let's pull it off again. We didn't do too bad of a job lining that surfboard up either. We're gonna keep going. And like I said, I am gonna give this a quick wipe down in between, just so that I don't transfer over too many of the colors and make it muddy. And I'm just wiping this with a baby wipe. You can use a wet paper towel. Tim Holtz, who is the creator of the ink that I use, he usually keeps like a big vat of water next to his workstation. And so he'll just like throw his stencils that he's used in there. So that's a very easy way to clean them. Definitely if you're just cleaning them like after, you're not like trying to do them in between like this. You can totally just run it under water. That completely works. And is honestly the easiest way to clean too. So, hi Cynthia, how are you? All right, so we are gonna start at the top again. I'm gonna flip these guys over. This just would stay in place better. Let me try to anchor it with something else. Okay, so after the pink, there is the red, lipstick, taffy, and yellow. I'm doing good. Kind of having a rough day, but other than that, we're doing good here. Just having one of those days that like I just want to lay in bed and cry and read. Like, this has been a weird day. I've been emo today, so yeah. It happens. All right. So then I think it's gonna be that third color in, which is more lipstick. I'm just kind of following the pattern from the other page. It'll make my brain hurt less. Blue. Yeah, no problem. I honestly probably, if I hadn't missed out on last week's live, I probably wouldn't have gone live today. It's been a rough day, but this is helping. I definitely just taking a minute to like be creative definitely is a good way to like center yourself, I think. So I'm glad that I have this to like remind myself of that. Last week I was actually home, but my sister-in-law's mother passed last week on Monday morning, and so they of course spent a lot of the week doing all those funeral preparations and everything, and so we actually were watching their kids, all four of them, a lot of the week, obviously. And so good, I'm glad. And so after that, it was just a matter of like it being hard to like leave my mom with watching all of them. So I think that's gonna end up good here though. That's why I didn't go live last week. I was here. It was just a matter of there were four. I'll be honest, it's not, thank you, but it's not necessary for me. I didn't know her very well. I feel bad for my sister-in-law. You know, losing a parent is not easy. I went through that a few years ago. So it was just more of a matter of like having the kids to watch, for us, or for me personally at least. I didn't want to leave my mom with all of them, you know, to come up here and go live. And I was just kind of tired because she had been declining all weekend, and I watched her kids all alone on Saturday night, or for a while, and then my boyfriend came over after he was done with what he was doing, and so that was exhausting. It was definitely an eye-opener of how chaotic all those kids are, because they're here, but there's usually several of us that we can kind of like spread them out and tag team, I guess, for lack of a better word. But that was exhausting. I don't know how she does it. So let's see. Pink, red, one lipstick here. So yeah, by Tuesday I was just kind of like, and then knowing like we were gonna have a funeral, and I had already had a few things last week, like I had a junk journal night, and then I had a book signing on Friday night, just knowing it was going to be a really long week. When I was like sitting there trying to wrangle the kids, I was like, I just got to cancel it this week. And Mom was like, don't you have your thing? And I was like, yeah, I'm just canceling it. You're having trouble getting all of them to stop being wild, and I'm also just kind of not feeling it. I mean, I love them all to death, but all four of them are a lot. And they're just so close in age, so like the two middle ones especially just like feed off of each other, and they're the hardest ones. Like the youngest one is so young that she just kind of lays there and you feed her sometimes and she cries and you have to pat her to sleep. And the oldest one is extremely self-sufficient, and he can do his own thing. However, like with me, he wants to be around me the entire time. So it's just like, oh gosh, buddy, can you just go and watch TV or play a game or leave me alone for 5 minutes so I can deal with these other people, these other crazies. It's a lot. I don't know how she does it. Like, definitely props to her. Okay. This is actually the second layout I've done tonight. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's going to probably be our last, just because, like I said, I'm tired, and I've been a little bit of a wreck today. I think the whole last week has been wearing on me too, so let's see. That's going to be this color. So we'll see. I had a plan for these two layouts, so I knew I'd get these done fairly quickly. I still have a little bit to go in here. Like I have stickers from Simply Gilded that I actually, hang on one second. This layout was to kind of match those, so we're going to still do some of that too. So we're not quite done yet. We've still got a little bit of time here. We gotta go pink first, I think. But yeah, those kids are a lot. Oh my gosh. How are you doing? Did you finish your classes? Right? You had classes? I hope so. I'm sure that's a great feeling if you did. I was saying earlier, I just finished, or like 5 minutes left on a really good book, and I'm like anxiously like, okay, we're almost done. You have your certificate. Congratulations. That's so excited. It was your birthday recently too, right? I think so. Happy birthday, I think. Lots of celebrations. That's so great. So now it's time to like read a ton and catch up on all the books that you had to put aside. What's your first? Or are you just like, no, I'm done. I need a break from any written word for like 6 to 10 business days. Oh, I think it was Katie's maybe. Somebody's, I think, was like the 30th, I believe. And now that you say that, I remember it being in March. You've read 5 books. Okay, so what have you read and which one was the best? I need all the recommendations and or I need to hear about what you've thought about books that I've read. I bought so many books. So many Audible books. They had a sale and I had a few gift cards left. I've been like saving gift cards that I had. And I was like, I'm ready to spend them. Let's go. And I spent them. Okay, I mean, I have read mostly romances this year, so no shame in that at all. I have been on a romance tear. That's pretty much all I've read other than, like, a couple very select ones. Some kind of razor scooter just went down our street. Spelled, Wanted, and Banished. Okay, I've never even heard of them. Are they good? Did you like them? Do I need to pick them up? Alright. Or is that one book? I didn't know if that was 3 books or 1 book. I'm assuming it's 3. I don't know why I'm assuming it's 3. Oh, okay, cool. It was 3. Nice. I'm gonna have to look into it. I've never even heard of them. Okay. Let me do our border here. And then I have a couple other things on this page I want to do. I'm still debating if I want to like outline some of these or all of these surfboards. I think once I pick this up, it's going to kind of help determine what I think about it. Nice. Okay, that's fun, but I feel like it's not complete, so let's do... I kind of wanted to put like this surfboard in black here. So let me grab a darker marker. It doesn't. I outlined the one the week before this too, and some of them. Okay, this is a flex, so this might be a good. I just think the black itself just makes things, like, it makes the other colors pop so much more. This is exactly what I tell you guys not to do. I get so nervous doing this, but I do it every time because I'm too lazy to wash it down. I've been on TikTok today. I've been getting videos of the Hamilton 10-year anniversary Tony performance, and all I've had in my, so then I've been like looking up all the videos because I haven't watched it in a while, and I haven't actually been listening to that music in a while because I don't know, I just, you know, I went into it Taylor all the time. Last book was a book based in South Carolina. I feel like I've seen that one. I think I might have. I don't think I read it. I think I had it on TBR and then either got in a slump or there was some reason I never read it. It was great. I'm going to have to look that one up for sure. Because I feel like I had that on a TBR for something. Maybe for like, I try to spread out like the states that I read books in for no reason. Just that like, I think it would be cool to one year actually read a book set in each state, but that's so hard to do because some of the states are just like nearly impossible to find. But I think it tied into another challenge, that whatever that one was, and I was like, oh, and it's set in South Carolina, which is a state I don't have. Nice. So yeah, anyway, I've just been like in my head having like all the like mashup of Hamilton songs, and I just can't stop like history has, I can't sing, so I'm not gonna sing, but like not good. It would be a really good challenge, and I know there's like lists of like, hey, you know, a book set in each state or whatever, but I also don't want to read just like boring books that are just because they're set in New Hampshire. You know what I mean? Like, I want to read fun books. So I don't know. The Hamilton songs are so good. So appropriate. I don't know if you saw this, but the Tonys were the other night. I don't know exactly what night. I want to say Sunday night, but I could be totally wrong. And they did like a 10-year Hamilton reunion with like the original Broadway cast, so like Lin-Manuel Miranda and Leslie Odom and like all of the like original ones. It was so good. Oh, and such like a, I mean, you wouldn't expect otherwise, but definitely like a political statement too, which is like the best part of Hamilton. I knew it was happening and I missed it, but then I saw it on TikTok like 100 times, as one does. Yeah, it's all over. I've seen it on both Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. So it's super easy to find. But they were all in black. And did you ever read the Throne of Glass books? There's like a particular scene in there where the king is like doing particularly bad things. And it's a scene about an orchestra that comes all in black, that wears black, and is like essentially knowing that this is a protest and that they're gonna probably be at minimum made political prisoners for doing it. And they sing like, or they play all the songs of the fallen countries that have fallen to this dictatorship, basically. And so like Hamilton all being in black. I saw somebody did like a video of it and like put those words over it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I had chills. Yeah. It's a really good series. It takes some getting into, and like there are rough moments, and the first few books she wrote when she was really young, so like they're a little slower, they're a little less developed, there's a little less like, but it's a really good series. And like, I don't know, there are just some moments like that. I had the same thought a while ago for something. There was an orchestra that essentially, because of the defunding of something at that university, was basically ending, and they were playing like their last performance, and there's these people that have played together for years and years and years, and like you could hear them all crying as they're like turning pages, and like, you know, as it comes to the end, you can just see kind of all their heads droop. And I, in like my mind, pictured that time. It's called the Throne of Glass series. There are 7 main books and another book that's like a compilation of 5 novellas. There's a couple different orders you can read them in, but I particularly, I don't know. It's a fantasy book though, so like if you don't like fantasy, it's, you know, it's probably not your thing, but it's really good. And you know, I think there's, I mean, obviously it's a fantasy book, so it's not like there's like, oh, a lot of parallels, because it's, you know, a political thriller or anything, but there's some moments, like I just said, that are like a little different. But it's the author that wrote like I'm blanking on it. It's the popular fantasy series, A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's the same author, Sarah J. Maas. Okay, yeah, I think outlining this was definitely the way to go. I'm glad I did. So now I'm gonna draw the inside. I am gonna take I can see I was definitely like less clean on this one because I've got little ink splotches all over. I can definitely take care of those with like stickers and well-placed markers too, but we'll give it an initial little spell. Wanda vanishes fantasy, but young adult. Okay, this is young adult, but it definitely gets spicier like further on. Like you can tell she matures as a writer, and so like she writes spicier stuff. I don't think there's like a ton of like random sex in it or anything. But it definitely is like more adult towards the end. But I think it is typically characterized as a young adult series. But it is a long series, but like the last few books are just so worth it, I think. Yeah, they've changed covers, but I'm sure you have. It's a super popular book in reading groups in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's definitely a series. I typically audiobook it now when I reread it. I haven't reread it in a while though. I kind of feel like I want to. Okay. Let me add, so So here are the stickers and the washi that go with it. There's some washi. Some pet tape. This is the cute pen that goes with it. Where is the washi? Right here. So this is the washi box. There's these, we'll use this when I'll do a spread with the flamingo floats, but that's the flamingo floats in a pool. This is like a beach towel. It's kind of like a sun. I'm trying to think what one. This one will go really well. We'll probably use some of that one. This one's got like popsicles, and then this one's just like palm trees and stuff. So I don't know which one I'll use. Let's see. But I subscribed to this box last month. I resubscribed. I had subscribed in the past and then tried to cut expenses, and you know, I'm not using as much washi as I have in the past. Just because my style has kind of changed. And so I stopped subscribing for a while, and then last month there was a really pretty, she actually used a lot of her photography in it, and it's like such pretty beachy palm trees, Hawaii, like, so I had to subscribe. And then when I looked, I was about to cancel, and I saw the sneak peek for this one. I was like, no, I've got to have this one too, because I love the beachy summery vibes are just my jam. So I had to keep it for another month. So I am going to kind of like see if there's anything on here I want to use. I definitely want to use some of these decos for sure. And then I think I'll actually use like the dates. I'm thinking of going with the stripe. Or I could do, this one would be cute too. I think we'll do the stripe though, just to make it a little different. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with colored ones. I think this color just isn't right with it. It's also not like the exact right length of the box, because obviously I'm making my own boxes. We're gonna like right center or right align them, and then I'll use stickers to kind of cover that up. So yeah, so I think this is all I'm gonna work on tonight, just because, like I said, it's not really been a great week for me, and I just feel myself being exhausted. But I have got, hi Mary Edith, how are you doing? Thank you. I tried to match the colors actually to this sticker slash washi, just because I knew I wanted to use some of them in here. But yeah, so I think this is going to be that. I've got a lot to work to do in my junk journal, so depending on what I do, I'm trying to see if our scrapbook store is open on Saturday to go in and work on my junk journal for a while, because Sunday we're also having our planner meetup, and I'd love to like catch up on my junk journal. But if I don't, Saturday, or maybe even possibly honestly tomorrow night, because I think I am free tomorrow night, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not saying it for sure, but very slim possibility that I might come live tomorrow night just to work on my junk journal a little bit. That's definitely something I want to prioritize, getting back caught up in that soon. Okay, and then I want to also do like a family gratitude, meeting appointment, important, shopping list. Is there like a to-do on here anywhere? To-do down there, to-do here. Gratitude. I should do more gratitude. We'll do this. To clean. Meeting appointment bill important. We'll do actually the important one for this. I'm the worst at aligning things. Does anybody else have that problem? I do have like a sticker tool in here, but I'm also the worst at using the things that I should be using. What do you do at planner meetups? Work on planners? I've been trying to save my bullet journal for these lives, so if I need to get like caught up in it, I will. I'll catch up on my reading planner usually. There's a lot of the stuff in the beginning of here I need to get done, so I might do that. And then I'll probably work on my junk journal, honestly. At the ones that we go to, the scrappy ones that like you'll hear Monica talk about or me talk about or Kelly talk about, Scrappy it's a scrapbook store, and they hold like their crop room. They have a crop room, and it's open anytime the store is open. And so we don't actually plan like, it's not like a conference or even really like a meetup. Like, we're not planning anything. I mean, once in a while somebody will be like, hey, I have this craft if anybody wants to try it. But it's not like we go in with like, hey, like this is the project we're working on today. It's truly just like bring whatever you have to work on and you can work on it. And you can really work on anything at ours. So what you pay is you pay the store's crop fee, which is, I think on Saturdays it's 10, and they've been having a special on Sundays recently where it's only 5. But that's to the store. Like, we don't charge anything for ours specifically because we don't really like have anything planned. We don't have like swag or anything, other than like sometimes somebody will bring something and be like, hey, here's some candy, like here's a bunch of stickers I'm destashing, you know, like nothing like, not like a traditional like quote unquote like planner event. It's essentially just like a crop at a scrapbook store, and we all just bring our planners. And but like we don't always all bring our planners. When I was working on my jacket for Taylor Swift, I took that and I planned and I worked on that there. When I was working on like if I've worked on scrapbooks there in the past. Somebody brought her sewing machine one time and did that. I know, I think, you know, people have done jewelry stuff there. Like, you can bring whatever, because basically once you pay that fee, you get your own, I think they're 8-foot tables or maybe 6-foot tables. That's like your table, your craft space. It's yours, for the day, obviously. But, so you just can work on whatever you want there. There's nothing like that says you have to do a certain thing or whatever. So it really is just like craft time. You bring whatever you want. You can bring whatever you want. We typically will order food and have it delivered or anything like that. I'm gonna just think about like, I want some washi down first, so I'm gonna do that first actually. Yeah, so we just like, it's just really like bring whatever you want to work on, and like we all kind of have a mutual time to hang out. We'll talk. We usually have a book club before it. We're not having it this one because this month, obviously, we usually do it on the 3rd Sundays of the month. So, and obviously this month it's Father's Day. I don't have a dad. My dad's dead, so I'm going. Of course, other people have husbands and whatnot, but some people will. A lot of people won't be there, understandably. So, we're not doing a book club this time, but we typically do a book club like an hour before it opens, because on some days it's only open at noon. So we'll meet at 11 at like, there's an Arby's in the same parking lot, and we'll have a book club. You know, sometimes people will be like, hey, I'm going to Scrappy today, like randomly, and people will just go whenever. It's just like a nice place that we can kind of all go whenever we want some like not at home scrap, you know, time to plan or craft or junk journal or whatever. It's just like a good space, and I'm really happy we have it. It's really nice that we do have it. It is. It's nice, and it's nice to like you know, sometimes people will be like, hey, like, I'm having a rough week. Like, I'm going to go to Scrappy because I need to get out of my house. And it could be like a random, you know, might be a Saturday. It might be, you know, a Tuesday because they're open all day, whatever. Like, usually we'll have at the end of the year, going into the next year, we'll have like a Bookworm Life setup day where we call it that, but you never have to work on like what we say we're doing. Like, my friend Kelly and I were talking about starting like a junk journal club there, to kind of focus on our junk journals, but, you know, whoever showed up wouldn't necessarily have to be junk journaling. You could do whatever you wanted. It's just something fun for us to do. And what we wanted to kind of focus on that day. Because I know her and I are the same. We like to bring everything. And we end up with so many bags and so much stuff we're dragging in every day. I think Scrappy is its own, like, independent business. So, it's not a chain. So it's not, there won't be one. There might be a scrapbook store around you, though, that has a crop room. Other places that typically will have crops are, like, churches will have scrapbook crops. I'm trying to think where else. Obviously, Joanne's not around anymore, but Michael's used to open their craft room for people. Like, you could host an event and just see, like, if there's any planners in the area that wanted to join you. Like, local libraries sometimes will have the ability to rent out rooms. But it's really fun. I love that we have that. I'm so happy that, I mean, that's where I've made most of my friends. Obviously, like, we all like bookish things too, so we've been going to a lot of bookish events and finding those that we can do together. It's just a really fun community. And I really enjoy it. Like, yeah, Michael's used to do it. But like I said, I think, you know, since COVID, that's changed a little bit. I don't know if they still host those, but I'm trying to decide. I think I want to add this washi to this one too, to kind of like make it a little more cohesive. Okay. Yeah, you definitely should. You should also, like, you can usually search, like, I think you're in South Carolina, right? Like, you check, like, and see if there's a South Carolina Planners Facebook page. Like, there's a Michigan Planner Meetups page where we post, like, any meetups that we see in Michigan. But not every state has that. We do. We're lucky. So I'm just trying to figure out where I want this summertime sticker. I think like on a surfboard, like it's the like design on the surfboard would be cute. But you can definitely check out kind of like your local scrapbooking community, anything like that. And like totally, if you don't see it, I fully am on board. Like if you don't see something you want, make it, because I'm sure somebody else wants it. If you have a couple friends and, you know, like kind of word of mouth, and like I said, it is nice if you have, yeah, so your South Carolina planner group, you could like put in there like, hey, like I found this place that does, you know, has tables available. Would anybody be interested in coming? The third Sunday of the month, it's this price, you know, whatever. And that's how I think it started. The person that originally started ours started it basically just like that. Like, hey, who wants to show up? Like, we want to get together and have some time to craft and do whatever. You know, bring your own supplies. I think it's a great way to get into the planner community in a different way. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to leave this at. So I have still a ton of stickers I can use on another layout. I'm actually going to Cincinnati that day, so I put the road trip sticker there. And I will pack this back up so I can use another day. And that is that week. But yeah, so I would just, if it's something that you're interested in, I would find somewhere that has a space that you can hopefully not have to rent, and more just like, you know, reserve a room or something. Like ours is perfect where we don't even have to like upfront the money for the room. They just have it open and you can pay for your own crop space. That's probably not what a lot of places have, unfortunately, but if they do, that's like the ideal in my mind. Because you don't have to deal with, you know, hey, everybody, it's going to be this amount, and if nobody shows up, it's going to be like double that. You know what I mean? Like, it's convenient. So I've had this little fan on me because the fan in here doesn't work, and it's been really hot here lately. So yeah, so there is that week. That's next week. And then this is this week. It does look great. Thank you. It is very summery. I am full on, like, I want summer. Unfortunately, I'm not really going to any beaches. I am going on a lake trip in August, like a bookish weekend with some friends. But I have some plans for that one. Yeah, for sure. I think it's like a super fun thing. You'll meet new people, you'll get new people involved. And then, you know, from there it becomes like, I mean, for me specifically, like, it's become my family. We do bookish stuff together. Like, you know, we do random other things. We have events, and though that's who I'm going on that bookish weekend with, is all the people I've met through Scrappy. I mean, that is my, you know, my local community. I tell all my, like, my one cousin that moved from here to Florida, like, the advice I gave her was to find something that you like and find the community in that thing that you like, because that is how I made friends as an adult, as somebody that, like, didn't make friends for a really long time post-college. That's how I made my community. And so, I think that's the best way to do it. So yeah, so just like find if there's somewhere, like at first I would start with that group. I think there's also like a Southern Planner Ladies, and I think some of them are in, if not South Carolina, they're in that like Eastern Georgia area. Because I think there are actual like planner events that people set up down there. She's an author, I can't think of her name. Hildy McQueen, I think. She talked to me when I was at the Atlanta conference a couple years ago that they have events all the time. Unfortunately that year, like, I couldn't go to anything to do anything at, but I would start there and see like if there is anything like that. And you might find some like events that you could go to too, and then, but if there's nothing like that, then I would still make something like that, because honestly, like, it's between this live, like, obviously this live is how I keep up in my planner because I'm doing it. Yeah, for sure. I am hoping, although like every day that it goes by that I haven't heard news from it, I did apply to do a workshop at the Chicago Planner Conference, but I haven't heard anything from that, and like, I've been really down about it because I don't think I'm going to get it, unfortunately, which stinks, but I really still want to go to it, but I don't know if I'll be able to swing it if I don't have like a shop reason to go. I'm going to try though, because I really want to attend that one this year. I know SGS, it's not in Florida. It's not happening this year, but it is coming back in like the spring of 2026, and I think it's gonna be in New York, which will be fun. I've never even been to New York, so I'm like really want to do that one. Unfortunately, a lot of them have like gone by the wayside. I really want some more of those smaller ones Thank you. I really hope it does too, but I'm having a rough day, so like when I think about that, I'm like, oh, that's another thing I didn't do right. But we'll see. I'm holding out hope. I actually applied with one of my good friends from the sticker party, Erica, to do like a joint workshop. And I think it'd be really fun. So that's like my biggest, like I really think it'd be so fun with her. I know it'd be fun with her. I love hanging out with her. She's an awesome person. We went to Vancouver together for the Eras tour, and we did the Rebecca Yarros event. So I'm hoping we get to do that together. If not, maybe at a different conference. It'll be fun. I know West Coast Planners used to do one, but they haven't had one. Like, they definitely didn't have one this year. I think they had it like early last year. That's the big ones, like Go Wild, SGS, CPC, West Coast Planners, and then there's like some smaller ones. But I feel like I never see them, or they're like so far away that like I can't swing it for like a 6-hour event, whereas like if it's a whole weekend one I can, you know what I mean? But we'll see. My goal was to speak at a conference this year, so if I don't get the CPC one, I think I'm gonna not meet that goal, which stinks, but you know, there's not really much I can do about that. So, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, no, I think I would check out, let me see if I can, I'm going to get out of here so I can't see your comments, but let me see if I ever joined that one, or I can look up Southern Planner. It's Southern Planner something, or like Southern Planner. No, it's not the Southern Planner. No, sure. Let me look up on Instagram. Hang on. Although I think that's her author page, so I might not be able to look it up. Shoot. If I find it, I will, let me check her. Hildy McQueen, I think. I'm terrible with names, so if I remember, oh, it is. Okay, cool. See, I think the problem is this is like more of her author stuff. I don't know if it's got like about her planner stuff. Shoot. Okay, well, either way, there's definitely like a good contingent of like Atlanta, and like southern people in like Georgia. And I know specifically that one, I know she was closer to like Eastern Georgia. Cause I think when I asked her, she was like, oh yeah, it's in this, I don't think it was Savannah. It was somewhere like Eastern, like Athens or even further than Athens. I was like, okay, well, I mean, I could probably swing it, but I just can't this year. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff in Atlanta all the time. I think there is an Atlanta planner group. I think there is definitely a Southern Planners or something like that. I would look up a Georgia Planners group, a South Carolina Planners group, Planners in the South, something like that. Look up in your area. Definitely look up in your state. Like I said, not every state works like this, but ours is like a state group that you can post any events in. Unfortunately, people have stopped because there really haven't been a ton in Michigan, but we post ours every month in there. But finding like, I think also, is it Love and Light Charms, I think has done some events in Atlanta. And I've seen that a couple times. There's one, I feel like, what is the group? It's a mother and daughter. They do the planner cruise, KREW, and they did like the pink planner ladies in, I think that was in Texas, but I think they're either Atlanta based or they do events out of Atlanta. They were at the Atlanta event, the Harry Potter one I did a couple years ago. What are their names? Oh my goodness. I can't think of them. I can see their faces from the event, but I'm terrible with not only names, but like, you know what I'm trying. Okay, so the people that do the planner cruise, the KREWS, they do events. And I've seen some of them have been in Atlanta or like the Atlanta area. I don't think D is doing them anymore, unfortunately, because that was fun. Yeah, so they do events. So follow, I'm sure if it's not on that social media, there's probably a link to one somewhere. Yes, the cruise, yes. I thought they had like a business name, like, so that was something else, but they're the people that did that, or they were involved in it at least. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get off here so I can take these pictures, and I'm gonna go finish my book and probably just lay down because it's been that kind of day. So they went on a cruise out of Texas, but I think they have all the events I've seen have been between Texas and Georgia. So I don't know if they're like one is based one and one's based the other, or they've just worked with people out of it. I mean, a cruise is another thing. Like, you have to go where the ports are too. So yeah, hopefully you can find something. And if you find any like fun events that are like weekends, let me know. Especially if you need people to present. Okay, have a good night. Thanks for being here. Bye. Bye, Mary.